This really has the cues or the telltales of something of him being the prime minister and losing this office. It's highlighting secrets coming out, revealing information suddenly, because that the thing that happened with the woman with the housing, that came out suddenly. It was a surprise to everybody. And as, like I said before, that situation will come back or be exaggerated, and more things will be coming out about him.
The people are sovereign, not Parliament, not the monarch. The people are sovereign, and Parliament's job is to represent the interests of the people and not put into place any laws that are to the pejorative of the people. This is from the 1688 Bill of Rights. These laws are forever, therefore perpetuity, these rights. But because people aren't taught about them, Parliament has, over a course of several hundred years, whittled them away. But they're still in effect. People don't believe me. Go check this out. Go to legislation.gov.uk and put in Bill of Rights. It's not an act because it wasn't passed by Parliament. It set up Parliament.
Traveling to a restrictive country with internet censorship? A VPN is the answer. And surf the internet with no restrictions.
When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes a duty. So said Thomas Jefferson. Go to bit.ly/lawful tax protest or bit.ly/make war history and find out why it is a criminal offence to pay central government or local government taxes in the UK. And let's make war history. Hey Lauren, thank you so much for making yourself available.
Hi, no problem.
Yes, it's Monday the 8th of September. We're recording this at, well, it's now 5:38 p.m. UK time, and you're over in the United States. And I asked you to do, if we would do a short little video on the plight of the UK and Keir Starmer in particular. Now, before we get into that, do you just want to say a little bit about yourself?
I am an astrologer. I do astrology readings for personal, private, and I also do the astrology for the crypto market. I interpret the crypto market using astrology, and I also do astrology for mundane astrology, like geopolitical, to see what's happening in the world and how the astrology is influencing the world around us, and political leaders as well.
So I'll have all the links where people can find you and check you out and everything. And you and I and Alex Craner recorded a video end of June. And it was in two parts. And the first part was about the European Union. And the second part, which I posted separately, is about the United Kingdom and about Keir Starmer. And what I recall from it is you just using doing astrology on him, you described him pretty accurately.
Yes.
Someone who has no issues with telling lies, right? There's no integrity, may have some sort of trauma in his past, but then, you know, it's almost like who doesn't have some, he has some really bad trauma in his past.
Yeah.
We don't know what that is. And I mean, he is a barefaced liar. If you've seen his interactions with Trump,
yes,
he's saying yes. He's standing next to Trump saying, yes, Britain has a very long tradition of free speech. Yeah, one that you're destroying.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's rippling through the world slowly, but that's a terrible subject.
Yes. And then you said around about September the 10th this year, things are going to get very, very rocky for him. And then there's going to be something's going to come out about some information that came out in July. And then you said towards September the 30th, he may end up resigning. It'll get worse.
Right. Yes. I looked back at his chart again, and
no, before you get into it, I just want to backfill people. Right now, a few days ago, Angela Rayner, the Deputy Prime Minister, resigned because she'd lied about a mortgage that she'd taken out on a third property. And just so you know, her constituency is about 300 miles north of London. That's where she's a member of Parliament.
Okay.
She has a home there, fair enough. And then she has an official residence in London where she works. She gets a grace and favours apartment on a function of because she's the Deputy Prime Minister. Comes with a job. And then she bought a home on the south coast of England, 50 miles south of London, in Brighton and Hove, and said, oh, this is my main residence. And she did so in order to avoid paying stamp duty, £40,000, plus also she sold her another house or something up in the north,
Oh.
and I don't know, somehow she got the valuation exaggerated, so that she was able to use that to support her purchase of this property in Hove, in Brighton Hove. And this all came out. And then in the end, she had to resign. And Keir Starmer's in trouble. Now, there's some other things about his cabinet ministers. His housing minister, I don't know if she had to resign, but got censored or something because she made people homeless. She's a landlord and evicted people so that she could then rent out that property at a higher rate. The corruption minister got embroiled in a corruption from back home in Bangladesh, connected to her family, multi-billion-dollar corruption.
Oh.
Right, and there's a few others like that. And the way I look at it, Keir Starmer has no integrity. He's such a crook. He's such a crook. People who are clean won't hang out with him because they're a risk to him.
Jeez.
People who are clean and integrous. Besides, why would he hang out with them anyway? They're
Yeah.
not interested in the sort of crookedness that he gets up to. No, and one of the things that I've long maintained, ever since he became prime minister, is that he's not going to last long. And my basis for that is because he just has no integrity, and all those lies and everything eventually just falls apart because there's no foundation. So it's looking really shaky and ropey. So I thought, okay, well, let's do a catch up.
Okay.
Let's find out what's coming up with him. Anything you want to say about what I've said, or just go?
Yes. When did that story come out? Because I know I read about the story with the woman with the houses. I know it was last week, right? Was it around like the second, third, fourth?
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. I looked back at his chart, and he has the planet Uranus squaring his natal Uranus. And what I missed last time in our last video was it happened exactly on the 2nd of September. And it's happening again on the 10th of September because Uranus is now retrograde, so it's moving backwards back to that spot. So all that news and information that's broken out about this woman and everything else that's happening around him is going to, the story is going to come back to the surface. Maybe it's with someone else in his cabinet or other people that he's had shady dealings with, but other things around the 10th, 11th, 12th, this week, I would say, are going to come out again. I would say probably something to do with that story of that woman. Maybe not that lady, maybe somebody else, but something in connections to that lady could be also coming back to the surface, and more things coming out about him and giving him more turmoil in his office, the prime minister. During this eclipse, it was the moon. It was exactly opposite. It wasn't exactly opposite to his sun and Pluto, but because we don't know his exact birth time, it could have been an exact, like at the same degree, but it's within orb of the planets being able to talk to themselves. That it was in opposition to Pluto, to the sun. It's next to his Chiron. This is very challenging for him on top of this square with Uranus occurring. It's like his more secrets will be coming out about him. Who he is being looked at. His alliances could also be moving away from him, which they are. There was a woman in, I don't know if it's called the Workers' Party or the Workers' Union. It was an article that I read that she was pulling alliances away from him, and I don't remember her name. It's something with the Labor Party.
Right.
So he could be losing more people he has alliances with. He could be losing. They could be pulling away from him. So during the eclipse, Keir Starmer, his Pluto, the moon, during the eclipse was opposite to his sun and his Pluto. It's in the first house in Virgo. It's himself, his identity, who he is. And an eclipse, it's a lunar eclipse, so it's taking something away or ending something. This really has the cues or the telltales of something of him being the prime minister and losing this office. And I would say that's because of the Uranus square Uranus. Who he is being almost dissolved. Pluto is about transformation, it's death, it's rebirth, but with this eclipse, his leadership is being tested. It's like it's dissolving his leadership because of all these external challenges that he's having with partnerships, with people in his country, even, President Trump and other alliances he has with other countries, because the moon during the eclipse was in his seventh house. That is partnerships, relationships. I'm not looking at his personal relationships,
Sure.
but his, global partnerships. And with Uranus in the 10th house, the one that's squaring his natal Uranus in the 12th house, it's highlighting secrets coming out, revealing information suddenly, because that the thing that happened with the woman with the housing, that came out suddenly. It was a surprise to everybody. And it's, like I said before, that situation will come back or be exaggerated, and more things will be coming out about him. It's a turning point, this eclipse, for him, I believe. It's testing his leadership, testing how the public sees him, and we can see that the public does not like him. It was during a football game that the whole crowd, I think it was football or rugby, the whole crowd was cheering. I forget what they were
Starmer is
cheering.
a wanker.
Yeah,
Starmer
yeah.
is a wanker.
Yes. But, when a whole crowd is cheering that about the leader of a country, that should be telling him something. But his ego is going to be in check. And I don't know if he cares so much about the people, because it doesn't seem like he does so much. But allies could be turning against him. His communication and what he's saying will also be highlighted, because the eclipse was at 15 degrees. That is the degree of Gemini communication. Again, he's going to be double speaking. He's going to be saying one thing, but what he's saying is not what's actually going on. He's going to be double speaking out of the sides of his mouth.
No
Pluto.
change there.
Yeah, I really feel that this is going to be a very testing time for him, and I would not be surprised if he was asked to step down by someone higher, the king, or if the people really came together and got him out.
Okay.
And I'm not sure with the politics if people can do that, if they can be like, I don't want him anymore. No, okay, so it won't be the people.
The king can dissolve parliament,
Okay,
but I think that's unlikely.
okay,
But there could be the deep state, the British deep state, the City of London. Whoever's pulling his strings could tell him to
okay,
step down, perhaps.
okay. Well, with Pluto here, with the moon across from Pluto, Pluto transits planets that are talking to your natal Pluto are very intense. It's a death and rebirth, literally. I went through this back in 2013, and when Pluto was in my first house, it is literally just like a death and rebirth of yourself. And with this moon here, it's revealing his past, revealing who he really is. Not that people don't see who he really is, but it's really revealing the secrets, his past karma, his past secrets that he's been having behind the scenes are coming into the light. And it'll be sudden. It'll just be these news stories will just come and pop up, and people will be shocked. They'll be shocked, but they won't be so shocked, because they'll be like, okay, well, we knew that he wasn't a great person, but it's going to be shocking to him, to the world, because his identity is in question. Okay, confrontation with forces trying to strip away his power. People, the deep state, whoever, I feel will be stripping away his power, because this eclipse it's pretty intense for him, very intense for him. And like I said before as well, that Uranus, the squared, his natal Uranus happened on the 2nd. It's happening again on the 10th. Uranus is retrograde. It's really highlighting his past. And I want to say it's a midlife crisis, but for him, it's a crisis of his life, of what he's done so far and who he has been to the public is going to be severely changed. And then we have the solar.
Good, by the way.
I know a lot of people are probably wanting him to not be there, because his practices and what he does is not for the people. He is very into himself. He doesn't care who he steps on to get what he wants.
Yeah.
His ego seems to be very all about him. And he speaks out of double sides of his mouth. So he's going to say whatever it is to make himself look good. The solar eclipse that happens on the 21st of September. So we're right now in this eclipse window from the 7th through the 21st, because these two eclipses are happening within 2 weeks. All the energies from the lunar eclipse that is testing him, secrets coming out, will be really heightened and coming out within these 2-week periods. One thing also to say is that the energies from eclipses last about 6 months. So this could be an ongoing thing for the next 6 months. His life will be changed dramatically. The solar eclipse, is at 28 degrees of Virgo. This is in his first house again. It's highlighting himself, who he is. It's like a rebranding of himself, but I feel like it's a rebranding of himself that, not in a positive way, not like, oh, he's going to come back and be great with the people, but like a rebranding is if he was told to step down, then he has to reinvent himself outside of the public life. A new beginning, the solar eclipse, beginning new things, beginning a new part of his life. People could see him differently. His role and responsibility will be redefined in the public eye. So again, if he is told to step down, people will obviously see him differently because he's not the prime minister any further. But responsibility during this eclipse is emphasized here. So I feel like people will be questioning his responsibilities. What is he doing? What has he done? And what are his true intentions here? Finances is something else that will be coming up possibly in the solar eclipse, because Chiron is opposite his natal Venus. That's the 8th and 2nd house. That's finances. It's institutional finances. It's not his finances. It's the finances of the UK. And there's struggles, tension in his leadership, his personal values of what he wants and what others want. Him being the ruler and wanting to look like he's the best, but ignoring everybody else. And I know that there's some financial challenges right now in the UK.
Yeah, we're broke.
Yes, those could be even more, those stories could be coming out more, or the situation could get worse for the UK, especially around this solar eclipse, because he is the leader. He has the say of what he does with the finances. Relationships will be tested, relationships with other countries. And I also did see that could be wealth redistribution, excuse me. So with the financial challenges that are going on, it will definitely affect the people, and redistribution of wealth. I don't think that there's going to be a financial reset for the UK, but redistribution of wealth, that was pretty big that I saw. So I'm not sure how that will play out, but something with wealth redistribution, look for that in the headlines. Maybe people just can't afford things, but other people profit off of that. Maybe his party, his people profit off of the people who are losing money, who can't afford anything, who become homeless or jobless, their lights are turned off. So something about wealth redistribution and him being a part of that. If he's not out, if he's still prime minister during this time. Relates diplomacy, his alliances are tested. And I feel that that's happening already with other countries around the world, with the UK, him, especially President Trump, the Child Safety Act, the Online Internet Child Safety Act. Yeah. That could be something else that coming up that is testing the alliances with other people in other countries, because certain companies, I think it was Wikipedia, went on a lawsuit or went to court over it, but they lost the court case, and to say that they don't want to be a part of this. So alliances with countries, even companies, could be tested with him, and people could really be getting on his case about this and other issues.
Yeah, we're just on that. I don't know about Wikipedia, but was it 4chan and a couple of other US companies have received letters from Ofcom, which is the telecommunications regulatory authority in the UK, telling 4chan that, look, you have to abide by the Online Safety Act. And 4chan's response is, no, you don't run us anymore. We got our independence almost 250 years ago. We're no longer a British colony, right? We have the First Amendment, the freedom of speech. And Preston Byrne is a lawyer in America who's actually, I think, representing 4chan, but they're taking Ofcom to court in the United States over this.
Oh,
and
good.
there was a congressional hearing, I think a week or so ago, about censorship in the UK and also in the European Union, because the European Union is going to be doing something similar. And that we have these rules here, and we're going to impose them all over the place because we have imperial hubris.
Well, it's definitely influencing and affecting so many other platforms. And some platforms will conform because they don't want to lose viewers or money. But there will be other companies and platforms that will not. And that could be something to do with alliances being tested.
And there are some platforms like BitChute that no longer broadcast in the UK, even though it's a British company.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, which is why a VPN is so useful.
Oh my gosh, it's so useful. It's although hopefully they don't ban the VPNs in certain places, but
well, VPNs are banned in certain places, but that's okay because you can download the APK and run them anyway.
Oh, okay. So and people will definitely find ways around them. They always do.
Definitely do that. We'll find ways around it. So, and just nordvpn.com/cryptorich is my affiliate link. Test it out.
And during the solar eclipse, his Mercury will be conjunct his natal Mercury. This is called a Mercury return, resetting his communication, his strategy. He could be having to change his strategy of how he's ruling, which we're seeing that already. He changed the cabinet, or right, there was the cabinets that he changed, and reframing, refining his messages, entering into crucial talks. So the solar eclipse could be when these crucial talks are coming out about his being the prime minister, maybe having talks of him not being prime minister any further. These 2-week period will be very, very crucial for Keir Starmer. And again, I would not be surprised if he was told to step down or the people of the UK protest even further than what they're doing now. I don't want to say violence, but eclipses do bring out a lot of energy and emotions in people. Within the Pisces Virgo axis has to do with people's emotions, and people's emotions could be strained highly during this time due to Keir Starmer and all his stuff that's coming out about him. So I don't see this as the best period of time for him. Maybe from this he'll gain a sense of humiliation, and I don't know, maybe have some empathy, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that one.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't agree, and no insight either. It's like he has no moral compass, no heart. He's just absolutely ruthless.
He is, and it's sad. It's very sad, and I almost feel like he doesn't. I think he doesn't care, but all these things are happening, and he's like, whatever, I'll talk my way out of it. I'll say whatever I have to say to make it go away.
Yeah.
He's going to try to push things under the rug, but the more he does that, the worse it will get for him. Because now he's under such a huge microscope, people will find things, and more things will come out.
He's so hated and reviled and despised. He's, I think, got the lowest rating of any prime minister since polling began. And the same
11% or something.
Oh, that
Maybe
much
less.
and he's destroyed the Labour Party. Mm-hmm. And there's so much that he's doing that wasn't in the manifesto that nobody's voting for, because of course he's following the World Economic Forum agenda with digital IDs and CBDCs and making us poorer, so that in this belief that it'll make us happy to be poor.
So that's where the wealth distribution could be coming into. Maybe him forming a stronger alliance with the World Economic Forum. Well, that's something to do. I don't know. Like I said, this wealth redistribution, something along those lines, look out for, because that him maybe coming out with a new policy saying, oh, this is good for everybody, you know, no one will own anything, this is good for you, something
No,
that
he
can
says
now
all that. He
inform.
says we're going to do all these policies that's really going to make life better for people in Britain, and then the actual policies make life much worse. So unemployment's gone up, poverty's gone up,
Yeah.
homelessness has gone up, uh, food banks. People relying on food banks. The numbers of people relying on food banks has gone up, including those that are working. Energy
Oh,
costs
wow.
have gone up. Meanwhile, he's sending billions of dollars to his mate Zelensky for him
Yeah.
to drift away because he's sending some of that money to offshore bank accounts. And
Oh,
you
she's getting
know,
a little bit of a kickback from that.
oh, it's all a war is a racket. It's all a grift. And then the people that he's put in, they know better. David Lammy as the foreign secretary. David Lammy referred to Donald Trump as this, I think, as this white supremacist. You're now the foreign secretary. You're now the foreign secretary, and you've got to negotiate with this guy.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. And then Shabana Mahmood, Pakistani Muslim, like David Lammy, she's alumni from the World Economic Forum. They're also members of the Fabian Society, which is this sort of secret, not so secret society within the labor movement, which is all about bringing in greater centralization,
Wow.
the sort of state control that was bringing about Soviet Union style structure or what we had in China.
Oh, great.
But nobody voted nobody voted for this, but bringing about stealthily, little by little by little. And Fabian Society is probably allied with or connected to in some way with the World Economic Forum. So they're
Yeah.
pushing those policies. And then also the divide and rule a lot, that you can put up a Pakistani flag or a Palestinian flag, but you can't put up an English flag. And then you get arrested. Or girls, 11-year-old girls being stopped by the police for holding and questioned for holding English flags.
Wow.
A guy standing on the street preaching the Bible, being banned from doing so by the police. So destroying Britain's Christian heritage and culture, squeezing
Wow.
the native English people, while at the same time being seen to promote Islam, Muslims, and
Wow.
migrants. And that's this classic British imperial divide and rule strategy. And then
Jeez. Wow.
what's predictable is you'll have English people, Christians, at war with Muslims, fighting
Okay.
each other, and then that allows the elites to carry on
Mm-hmm.
robbing from everyone.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Problem, reaction, solution.
Yes, and thrilled I am at the prospect of Keir Starmer stepping down. We'll then have the next tyrannical monkey to deal with.
And now, Nigel Farage, is that who they're? Is that Nigel? Is
Nigel
that
Farage
Nigel
is the
Farage?
leader of the Reform Party.
Okay.
In Britain, it's very, very difficult to call for another election.
Oh, okay.
The king can,
Mm-hmm.
and people need to lobby the king for him to do that. But the king is playing along with the WEF policies.
Oh, okay.
Net
So,
zero nonsense, everything, right? He's captured, so he's not fulfilling his constitutional role to ensure that Parliament and the laws that they pass serve the interests of the British people and maintain Britain's Christian heritage. That's
okay.
his job. That's his
Jeez.
constitutional role.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
the way England does have a constitution. We just don't know about it because they no longer teach it in law school.
Oh,
They stopped doing that in the early 70s. So judges and lawyers that have come through since, they don't know about the 1688 Bill of Rights. They don't know about the Coronation Act. They don't know about the
wow.
Act of Settlement. They don't know about the Act of Union. All these
Jeez.
key constitutional documents. And what they say, the people are sovereign, not Parliament, not the monarch. The people are sovereign, and Parliament's job is to represent the interests of the people
Jeez.
and not put into place any laws that are to the pejorative of the people, and that this is from the 1688 Bill of Rights. These laws are forever, therefore perpetuity, these rights. But because people aren't taught about them,
They don't know about
Parliament
them.
has, over a course of several hundred years, whittled them away.
Jeez.
But they're still in effect.
Oh, okay. So if people knew about them, they could kept
Yeah,
them
and
going.
Boris Johnson referred to the Bill of Rights in a court case that he was involved in 2019. And people, if people don't believe me, go check this out. Go to legislation.gov.uk and put in Bill of Rights. It's not a law it's not an act because it wasn't passed by Parliament. It set up Parliament.
Oh,
So
wow.
Parliament can't get rid of it.
Oh,
And it was the inspiration for the Bill of Rights and the Constitution that you enjoy in the United States,
wow.
which people are taught about, which in some respects I think is much, much stronger.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So,
So if people knew about this, they could get
well, then we
Keir
can
Starmer
exercise our
out.
rights.
Right. Okay. Wow. Jeez. That's terrible. I mean, I guess I'm not really surprised because, many leaders are corrupt and they like to hide things for people so they can have the rulership and power over everybody.
Well, ultimately in the background, and I suppose we can go even more ultimately and more ultimately, more ultimately. My opinion is that it's the City of London, the banksters. The
Oh,
City of
yes.
London, what
That's
they
right.
want to do is control everything. And they have
Yes.
access to the funds to be able to do so, to bribe people and
Wow.
to plant people and to keep printing money because of the Cantillon effect, where because they're closest to the source of funds, they have the greatest advantage to put in people in power, complete nincompoops, political midgets and dwarfs like Keir Starmer. He
Okay.
didn't rise through because of his talent. Are
No.
you kidding? Joe Biden didn't become president of the United States because of his talent.
Yeah,
He
no,
was
definitely
put
not.
there. He was placed there. Now you could say Obama, because Obama could hold a crowd, could speak,
Mm-hmm.
fill stadia. He did. Trump fills stadia. He can speak.
Yeah.
People connect with him. He has
Mm-hmm.
talent. Whether or not you
Yeah.
agree with it or not is another matter.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret Thatcher, she had charisma and personality, and she was a politician. And then people like George Galloway or politicians of old from the left, they rose through the Labour movement, through campaigning. Keir Starmer was just lied his way and was deposited there. And I
Yeah.
suspect the same with Nigel Farage, but slightly different.
Oh.
So Nigel Farage did campaign and headed up the Brexit campaign for Britain to leave the European Union.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think subsequently he's been captured. And he now also serves the City of London. And this is what
Oh.
the WEF do. We got rid of this one, but don't worry, we got another one. We got a
Yeah.
whole conveyor belt of puppets.
Yes. We'll put the next one in.
Yeah, we'll throw the
Yeah.
next one in, right? So that's my concern about him. And maybe at some point we could, you and I do an astrological chart of Nigel Farage.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeez,
So,
man. That's
things are
terrible,
going to get
man.
really, really rocky in the United Kingdom. And you said this because in the other
Mm.
video, because we did a video about the state of the
That's
pound and
right.
stuff,
Yep.
and the state of our finances is getting worse and worse and worse. And he's not doing anything in order to generate finance because we could be, I'm pretty sure, self-sufficient in gas and oil and coal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. That would be great, but I guess
But
that would
no,
line his
because
pockets
carbon
as much if
dioxide.
you guys were.
Carbon dioxide, you see, is bad for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
carbon dioxide, the essential element for photosynthesis take place.
Yeah, the trees. Yeah, we
Yeah.
just cut them all down.
Yeah, cut them all down and have great big machines to capture carbon dioxide and
Yeah,
put it into
yeah.
the ground. Well, that's what trees do for free.
Yeah, that's right,
A whole lot of other benefits. Okay, now, so Lauren, thank you so much for that. It's going to be really, really rocky in September. And the thing that
Yeah.
I acknowledge you for is your courage. Because, in June, end of June, you said, look, it's going to be really dodgy for him come September. He may step down. Well, it
Yeah.
takes cojones to say that.
Yeah.
It's like to go public and say, look, this is what I
Yeah.
think is going to happen. So again, it takes courage to stand. Nope, it's not looking good for him. So we shall see.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
shall
it's gonna
see.
get gonna get even more rocky, I guess I would say. So
Yes,
buckle up.
buckle up. That's right. And then you and I, we're going to be doing a video with Ian Burlingame, who's been on my
Hmm.
channel a few times. And one of the things that he and I have talked about is English heritage and English legacy,
Hmm.
and how important that is, and how it's been exported to the United States and Canada and Pakistan and India, wherever the common law culture. And the thing about England, why they want to destroy English legacy, is because what's key to English culture, and it shaped the traditions of law that
Hmm.
arose out of that culture, is the idea of sovereignty.
Oh.
I am sovereign.
Hmm.
You are sovereign over yourself.
Yep.
And I think that's the gift that English culture has given to that's still alive and present in the United States.
Yes. Hmm.
That the
Wow.
individual is sovereign. Well, if you're going to go all statist and destroy everybody's livelihoods and steal their wealth, you have to destroy the notion of sovereignty. If you want a
Yeah.
globalized world, you have to destroy sovereignty at a national level, which is why there's this assault on the flags of England.
That's terrible. I did not know that. Wow. That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Well, I invite
Jeez.
you to, well, I'll send it to you anyway, right? The first video that I recorded with Ian Burlingame, where he
Hmm.
spelled this all out to me as background for when you and I and him record a video, which will be happening soon. So people, and that video, like this one, will go out in Lauren's channel, because I really do appreciate Lauren giving up her time, because I have what I think is a great idea. So, I want you to benefit, and I do recommend people follow Lauren on X and subscribe to her YouTube channel, and maybe go get a reading. She's told me a few things in private that I like about. Oh, that's interesting. We couldn't have known. Lauren, thank you. Anything you want to say before we finish up?
No, that's it. Just buckle up for a bumpy ride. And don't be surprised for whatever comes out about Keir Starmer, because it's going to be shocking.
It is going to actually just something on that, because I sent you a link to a video that Joni Patri had done, who's a Vedic astrologer. Now, I'm not connected to Joni, but I listened to her. And one of the things that I do with something like astrology is I listen, and then, okay, I'm going to see how it plays out.
Hmm.
So when you said what you said in June, it's like, well, that would be nice,
Yeah.
right? But let's see how it plays out.
Hmm.
Versus, oh, no, that's all rubbish and bunkum. I could have been the same way about Bitcoin. I bought some Bitcoin. Let me see how it plays out. Oh, this is good.
That was a good one.
That's a good one, right? So it's the same deal here. But one of the things she said in the month of September, information's going to come out about the Illuminati and what they've been doing with children. That's going to be shocking and horrifying. And people are going to discover how cruel and venal the elites are and what they've been doing with little ones.
Jeez. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I would like that to come out.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they
This
will
is
get
disgusting.
their comeuppance, because that's something that unites all people. We cannot
Oh, definitely.
tolerate that.
It's disgusting.
So fingers crossed
Yeah.
prediction is accurate. All right, Lauren, thank you. Anything you want to say? Anything else?
Nope, that's it. Just have a safe, keep your emotions in check, stay grounded during this time of the eclipses, because it can get emotional, and really just reflect inwards, because this is a perfect time to really reflect about yourself, who you are, your own values, and maybe what you need to let go of in order to move forward in life.
Fabulous. Absolutely. Lauren, thank you so much. Great talking to you. Look forward to speaking to you again soon. Everybody, please share, subscribe, all that business. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you.